Hello! I've been feeling a little nostalgic lately, and it's time to infect you with that same feeling too. I was watching some old kid shows I used to watch, and the thought struck me. If this show was remade today with the production style that exists now, what would it look like? What type of fandom would the show have? And I want to mention this started with the thought of, oh, he'd be called Baby Girl if this show was popular today. I then began daydreaming about the cool fan work certain shows would get, and got kind of sad that that only exists in my brain right now. And then I realized, I do art, so I may as well use my skills and give some shows that raised me a bit of love through art and, share my thoughts to you because you have no choice but to listen. So let's get started. Bit of a disclaimer, I'm not a cable kid. A majority of my childhood was PBS and Cubo, so sorry not sorry Disney and Nick Fiends. The first show I chose was Jane and the Dragon. This show follows Jane, a 12-year-old girl who decided being a lady-in-waiting wasn't for her, and instead she wanted to be a knight. After saving the prince from a dragon and befriending said dragon, she's allowed to become a knight's apprentice in service of the king. I love this show so much, and it still holds up to this day. Like, it's common to grow up and have the characters be a bit more annoying or whiny than you remember, but I hardly ever felt that. I was still able to enjoy the show. The characters are witty and funny, just good general slice of life with occasional heartfelt moments. I watched a read-along of the original children's book this show was based off, and it felt fulfilling to finally fully know how they met. I know the intro song kinda covers it.
I knew I could prove that a girl could be a knight, though my friends all laughed at me, but I wouldn't be discouraged and trained in secret. Then a dragon prince, the royal prince, and everyone was freaking, so I went alone to the dragon's home to slay the dragon.
Hey now, Jane and the dragon are best friends now.
But there were still missing bits that I was curious about as a kid. I still love to see this animated though with a modern art style. This show uses 3D animation, which, was cool for its time, but as a personal preference, I'd like more of a 2D style. Like, I could totally see it with a style similar to Netflix's Carmen Sandiego cartoon. I didn't see much of an issue with the style when I was a kid, but as I've grown up, I've gotten pickier, plus with the help of the internet's 240 pixel archives, this show has seen better days in my memories, but it's still good. Like, I always thought the dragon looked cool, and that still holds true. I feel like the show nailed character interaction writing so well that I can imagine the show being popular with today's audience. It would be so sick to see a remake of this. There's so many little background elements that could be explored for a deeper story if desired, but it also works just as well as a regular slice of life. I rewatched this with my little brother, and during an episode that we see the other apprentice knight, Gunther, I saw so many things about his character that reminded me of modern characters like Wander from Genshin Impact, or Branch from Trolls, or Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Kind of bratty characters that specific parts of the fandom would call baby girl. I told my brother this, and he said Jester was a character he'd see being called baby girl, and I have to admit, I could see it too. Also, I could see a shipping war happening with Jane and Jester or Gunther. The show definitely alluded to this occasionally, with a bigger push for her and Gunther. I get it, rivals to lovers, but I personally am team Jester for life, especially after reading the book. It's meant to be Jane and Jester for life. For context, in the original book, Jester is the only one to believe in Jane and encourage her to chase her dream, and still has a bit of that characteristic in the show. Also, I can see thirst trappy human fan art of Dragon being made in the same vein as a fan art of FNAF animatronics. I feel like a prophet or something, but can't you see it too? But yes, here's my fan art, and I can see this remake being similar to Netflix She-Ra's adaptation, having some like epic edgy moments, and I'm here for it. I'm hyped for something that will never happen. I am in pain. The second show I revisited was Pearly in the Park. So this series is essentially Pearly, a fairy that works with other magical fairies and creatures through a fairy park management system managing Jubilee Park, where the show takes place. So she's like a park manager or something like that. I remembered liking the show, but watching it again, it didn't live up to its full glory that I remembered. And just a moment of silence for that, please. But yeah, she was kind of annoying at times. Or not really Pearly, mainly Sapphira, or I don't know, I just couldn't vibe with the show. Just the plot was always simple and a little boring. I don't know what it lacked, but something wasn't giving. But you know what was giving? The set design and background art. Always pretty, just amazing work. I love the art of the show. I just want to say that. I looked into the show to see if there was an original source, and it's based off a book series, and I just want to say the artist could cook with her outfits. I know for an animated show, you can't go too wild with outfits due to the budget and time, but still comparing these to these? I mean, we got some outfits, so it's not a total loss, but come on. Could you imagine a timeline where we got outfits like this? It would have been dope. But inspired by the book art, I made this. Just had a little bit of fun with the outfit. I think it's what the original artist would have wanted. I think this is remakeable, but I could see Pearly turning into a character like Marcel from Dungeon Meshi. We love a girl failure college graduate, and I think this vibe would suit Pearly so much. The final show I watched was Willa's Wildlife. So this show follows Willa's daily life with her giraffe, camel, 2 elephants, an alligator, 3 penguins, a grizzly bear, 2 seals, a walrus, and a horde of canonically uncounted rabbits that keep multiplying. I don't know what it is about this show, but I love it. It's a comfort show for me. It just makes me happy. Their heads are so round and the animals are all funny and cute. They're just little guys. It doesn't need change. I think maybe it's just interesting. Why does she have so many animals? Where did they come from? How can she talk to them? Why can her dad talk to them too sometimes? Why can't anyone else talk to them? So many questions that never get answered, but I'm just happy watching her and her animals be happy. Though I did notice, looking back at it, there are moments where Willa just exploits the animals for her own reasons. I know she's like around 10, but still. Luckily, she always learns her lesson at the end of the episode and, you know, does the right thing. She does care about her animals. She just gets carried away sometimes. But yeah, I wonder what the most popular animal would be if it was aired today. Mine was Ginny the giraffe because she was just like, I don't know, comforting. But I didn't want to draw a giraffe, so I went with Bert the bear and Coco the kangaroo and one of the unnamed bunnies. I just think they're neat. Also, I learned this series is based on a book called An Octopus Followed Me Home, where it's a girl asking her dad if they can keep an octopus, but the dad's like, no, we have too many damn animals already, and she says, okay, alright. So she lets the octopus go and brings home a dinosaur instead at the end of the book. So knowing that, I know how she got the animals, but where? From where did she take them? But yeah, I just want them to be happy. It's such a comforting show. So yeah, thanks for watching me ramble about some old kid shows. I did 3 shows because art takes time, but I made an initial list that has over 30 shows. So let me know in the comments if you want to see a part 2 because I have plenty of other shows that I would like to revisit. I'll see you on the next video. Feel free to hit subscribe and the bell and the dumb little thumbs up button that validates all my efforts. See you soon. Bye bye. But you didn't have to cut me off. Ooh. I even need your love. Dreaming like a stranger and I feel so wrong. Somebody that you used to know.